I really did fuck this mic up, didn't I? I did, huh? Look at it. It's not even. I can't seem to get that stupid. Fuck it. Okay. Are you rolling on me? You bitch. Okay, hold on. Hold on. I'm almost there. Just start over.
Camille does not even need a mic. But we're just going to let her just fuck with it for just a minute.
Oh, God, I hope it doesn't sound like
what happened was she got pissed and she threw it.
I didn't throw it. I got up and I forgot it was on, and so it kind of went. Remember, it kind of.
No, well, she broke the stem off that holds it in place, so now she has to do the loop-de-loop of the cord.
I gotta loop it.
Hey, that looks pretty good.
I think so.
Before we started rolling, Camille was pushing on her booty, and y'all, the vibrations were like going up.
That is funny.
So I started hitting on mine, and
they ain't moving.
It hurts.
That's what weightlifting can do for you girls.
It hurts.
Yeah, this is mine. It's like,
well, not to mention I'm sunburned.
Watch the whole thing, like my whole. It's like.
So, like, if you were Tarzan, went, like the whole jungle would be like,
it's like a water wave.
It's like the wave pool.
Oh my goodness, we're back. I'm talking about cha-chas.
We
her
really
favorite
can't.
subject.
You know, when I had my first implant surgery back in 1800.
That's what it is. I don't have implants. No implants.
I know.
But look how they're just.
Well, this all started when Camille and I were taking our pre-picture.
Our shirts off and we.
No. And I'm like, Camille, look at your cleavage. And she's like, this is always my best shot.
Yeah, this is the angle. My best selfie angle. I got that
from
figured
here
out.
down. No, when I had my first
implant.
Yeah, what do you call it? Augmentation.
Oh, yeah, sure, augmentation.
It was right after Miss Texas. And the thing is, y'all, if you just really want to know the truth about my cha-chas, Jesus made them to go out of my armpits, but everything else here was flat.
They were normal?
No, they were just, I was like an 8-year-old girl with boobies in my armpits, yeah.
You had a side boob look, did you?
So then I had these implants put in, right? And that was back in the day where they were like, you have to massage them, you know, they're going to turn hard and everything. So I was like, Nazi mom. I was like, So I was so scared they were just going to be softballs.
Were they silicone?
I don't remember.
They weren't water filled though.
I can't remember
because they're saline and silicone. They're silicone.
I think they were silicone then.
That's why you got to massage them. Yeah.
And then I had, my babies, and I had National Geographic boobies.
You have banana boobs. Well, I was born with a banana boob.
They were like that.
Yeah, they were down there.
I mean, after you nurse 5 babies. Good
That
Lord.
would do some damage.
Well, and plus.
Hey, watch my areola. Watch my areola over there.
This is not the platysma.
We have platysma and areola conversation.
No, we both talked about getting engorged while you're freaking nursing. Oh my gosh, y'all.
That's the one thing I was not prepared for. I figured there's going to be some tenderness, soreness, whatever.
Go
ahead, have your juice.
Not a urine specimen. Either.
Have your juice. Now, I was thinking when I had Nathan, my son, I thought I'll be sore and all that normal stuff, and C-section later because that kid was 9 pounds 12 ounces. That ain't coming out of me. So what I was not prepared for was the engorged breast. Now they were already pretty big.
Nobody prepares you for that.
No one told me that. I'm like, what the? I seriously, like I tried to turn over. I was like, what the hell's stopping me? Like they were as big as my head. Oh. One boob was as big as my head. I am not exaggerating.
Now
look at my head. I do have a little puffy hair, but they were as big as my head, and I couldn't put my arms down. I'm like, and I was in pain.
Yeah,
I
feel you.
Oh my gosh! And I tell women,
because you lay down and it goes.
Well, I suffocate. You're suffocated.
It just throbs.
I couldn't do it, and they were squished together, and I mean, it was just like I started bawling. I looked in the mirror, I started bawling.
I know.
I was like, I think my husband at the time said, "You could be a porn star." I started bawling. I'm like,
I know what I wanted to hear.
So I tried. We tried to nurse. I did it for a little bit. I couldn't do it. It was too much.
Thought.
I mean, it's like fire hose. It was this poor baby.
You know what? And the bad thing is, you ladies know what we're talking about. When you get engorged,
pressure.
That nipple is so tight that baby literally it hurts.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I couldn't.
It hurts,
it hurts so
and then
bad.
it takes a long time because now your milk is coming in like it hadn't been there before. Now it's really coming in.
Yeah.
And it's not releasing. It's not releasing.
And they got to chew on it, and you're going, oh my Lord.
I'm
was not
surprised I
supposed to
did
happen.
not beat the shit out of my second baby because he would.
He's teething?
No, it's just that my nipples split.
Oh, God. See, they're,
I had an
that's painful.
infection and they split, and then the only way to get over this is to nurse right through it.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding you. I would lay
nice
there.
to hear.
My other child, maybe this was my third kid, I don't know, but I just remember my other children that were like, what's he doing to mommy? Because I would just be like, like Flipper.
That's terrible.
Something. Now I got engorged to a 38G.
Well, that's my normal size right there. No, I'm probably an F. No, I'm kidding. I'm double D.
I know.
I'm actually triple D.
My husband at the time, his sweaters were tight.
And you wore those.
Everything hurt. I was really looking for a chainsaw, just cut them off. Like really, there's formula at Walmart. Just cut them off.
And I'm a little surprised sometimes girls that have implants can't nurse because those get in the way. But I'm impressed that you could.
It's because I was kneading the shit out of those before.
They were flexible.
No, I nursed all 5 babies, and then I went into a doctor. I think I was his last patient before he retired, and I was like, "Can you bring these back up to where they should be, around my rib cage, not around my knees?" And then one of them burst.
Oh yeah, that's right. You had to have a replacement.
Yeah. So I'm on like.
Is this a third set?
Did
you have both of them taken out? I mean, did you? Okay, so that's smart because you don't want to have an old and a new.
Know.
Yeah, yeah.
And they were actually still under warranty because they were only they were less than a year old.
They have a warranty on
They
those
do.
things. What about that?
I know, all right. Buy one, get one.
Interesting. I heard they have like a code. Like they have a specific card or something. Yeah.
Well, no, you get like a number. Like your implants are blah blah blah, and then if you go to
They're
another
registered,
doctor,
like a registration.
so they know what's in your body. I'm like Tracy's pacemaker probably
like an
has
implant.
a number, and so you know it's in there. So if you go to another doctor and he wants to know before he cut,
he could take it
or
out.
What's in there, you give them and you tell them what you have.
Wow.
Because sometimes you may, I don't remember the size. I don't know the cc's. I don't know. But that piece of paper tells them, right? Have you heard about those doctors that will put butt implants for breast dogs?
Shut up.
Yeah.
No.
Can you imagine that cavity? Like seriously, you gotta talk about.
I've heard of spacers or stretchers or whatever they're called. Like they sometimes
for like ladies that have had mastectomies and stuff.
Yeah, you got to kind of get this the tissue issues. You stretch them, but look, there's some frames that just can't have a big bust. There's some frames. I mean, I'm built for boob, so I can have boob. You're built. You have a smaller frame. You couldn't do like 600 cc. I could. I mean, honestly, that sounds terrible, but I could smuggle a watermelon. But some women are just built with this.
Their rib cage, their shoulders, all of that.
Yeah. But some women aren't built like that.
But I think it's wrong when doctors
will
do whatever that patient wants, and
it looks a little bit off.
It looks weird, or they look deformed, or they have issues.
I had a sweet gal that had them done, and her husband, it was new, and they were kind of up here. They were still a little higher, and I guess that you got to. I mean, she went in. The doctor actually wrapped them to get them to hang a little lower, and her husband was so disappointed. He said, "She looks like a football player." I can't. I mean, he was, and I said, "Do not tell her that.
Wait,
not."
Why would she look like a football player?
I guess from the side she was just. It was because they were so high up, and so she was
like
padded. He said she looks like a football player. It was the weirdest thing. I'm like, I would never tell her that. No. Now she actually went in and they actually reduced them, and they brought them down because they look terrible.
See, that's just
there's a lot of problems with these plastic
surgeries. You've got to have a doctor that knows. Like for instance, when the one deflated and I had to go. Anyway, I had to go back in because there was an issue with. I think Jesus was like, "Leave the boobies alone."
Not meant to be cut open.
Yeah. Well, the last doctor was like, "The pockets are all wrong." Well, we don't know that, right?
Well, that's what I'm saying. You weren't. Your pocket has to be a certain size to hold it.
Yeah. Well, the pocket was in the wrong spot. It just was.
So that's why it wasn't hanging right. That's why it broke.
Maybe.
I'll bet it was. And maybe that's the best thing that happened.
Yeah.
To fix your look, because you might have been, having a
point of the story today, friends. Is I'm not wearing a strapless.
Did we start with, "Hey, we're here from Shock Doc"? And I don't even know if we said that. I don't think we did. You just got me cussing. You just sat there.
It was funny, wasn't it?
She had the gadget's on the other side of the table.
This is what
she's got. The gadget.
Camille's best friend, and Camille was over here mushing on her boobies. I'm like,
no, I'm fixing my mic. I wasn't mushing my boobs. Trust me.
Okay, So now that we got all the table talk out of the way,
Now we got Cha-Cha Talk. No, it's called Cha-Cha Talk. That's a good title.
have
we
you
should
ever
talk.
heard it called anything? I mean, have you ever, like I've always called them cha-chas. Have you
Yep.
ever heard that before?
Yeah. I've heard Cha-Chas. I've heard they're called a lot of things.
I know.
But yeah, I've heard them called Cha-Chas.
You know, did I tell you about the time that I went to
Is this a Texas story?
no.
Oh.
I went to this pool in Vegas at a hotel. It was called Toptional. That should have been my first
Oh,
clue. I did not know.
You could have worn a top or not.
Well,
Did you not wear it?
No, I do. I wear tops. But I didn't realize boobies come in a lot of flavors,
Sugar.
and they weren't pretty.
Yeah.
The areola itself was like a burnt oatmeal cookie. It was, some of them, y'all, were ginormous.
Some guys like that. I had a guy, he's a client of mine, and he loved this woman, and she was a stripper, and he loved her breasts because they were silver dollars.
Like the brown spot
were.
was her whole baby.
That's not good.
You know what?
But you know what? I mean,
Hang on.
are you going to pull one out and show
No,
us?
but I felt
You're
like the
gonna-
underwire was right here.
What's a pinch?
That's not doing me any good. So here's the deal. So
Some guys like big areolas. That's just kind of their thing. Their kink.
I just didn't know. I mean, here's the deal. In case y'all are wondering, when women go to a
We don't
locker room or any public place to change, we just don't stare at each other.
We're kind of in our own little stall. We're kind of in our own little.
Right.
My drapes are drawn. I'm being appropriate. I don't want to impose.
At the gym,
My
I
flesh.
do not see women walking around without any clothes on. We just don't really do that. So here I am. Thank God I had some sunglasses on because I was staring. I was a staring freaky mama because Camille, I've
Poor
never. I
woman.
mean, some had nipples that were like
Jesus.
long.
Yeah.
I only saw.
And were they bigger girls or just normal sized women or
all flavors,
all flavors?
all ages. I really only saw one pair that
Optional.
were pretty. Yeah.
Interesting.
So I've heard that some pools at Vegas will hire strippers
Oh.
to come
To
and
kind of
be top
circulate.
Yeah, topless, so that it brings.
Everybody
them-
else starts
they're the
doing that.
pretty people. They nurse children.
Yeah.
Hell, they're only 19. Give me a break. That's
Right.
disgusting. Yeah. But I do remember this lady. She was sitting on the side of the pool, and y'all, she just was not a very, bless her heart. Can we just leave it at that?
Okay.
God love her.
She a bigger girl.
No.
Oh, just not very
She just
attractive.
was not kept. She had hair,
Oh.
facial hair. She
Oh.
had hair.
Oh.
She had chest hair. And she was a
Oh.
woman.
Oh, that's a little.
Yeah. And,
That's European.
And I don't know. I don't know. But the bottom half, it just was like.
Nuh-uh.
It was a cafeteria of sorts.
You got a little forest going down there.
She needed Joanna.
I heard something funny this week.
What you heard?
You know, okay, so The Big Lebowski, that movie, it's iconic now, but Jeff Bridges he's shooting the scene where, if any of you watch this, there's a scene where these women are spread-legged, and he's on, in this dream sequence, and he's, going down this bowling alley, like the alley part where you throw the ball, and he's like being thrown, but he's looking up their skirts as he goes down to the pins, right? So, true story, he was on Conan. And you probably have seen a lot of this, but so the day of the shoot, he invited his wife and young daughters to the shoot, where he was shooting this famous.
How old are young daughters?
I'm thinking maybe they're before under 18. That's all I was thinking. But long story short, he said he was shooting the scene, and he's got a skateboard, and they're kind of pulling the skateboard, and he's supposed to be looking under these legs, and the first one he says, the
No,
first
where
one
this
he's
is
looking,
going.
he's like, oh, there's little wispies.
That's Camille's
well,
word,
that'd be Camille. So anyway, he's looking
Joanna!
He's looking up at these wispies, and he's thinking, "Oh, that's interesting." And then the next one, well, we have some ornate wispies. They're longer and more curly. And then the next one, oh my goodness, it just keeps getting foresty as he goes down the line. Well, and at the end of it, his wife's standing there laughing her ass off. Isn't that great?
Well, Camille and I have a word that we've been
Because it was a pelt.
That's
It
the
was
word.
yeah. He got to the end and it was a pelt, and it was just like How am I gonna
that is a description that does not need any explanation. And you know what I think about? I think about when you go to the fabric store and you're in that section that has like all of the
gray, black, yeah, the felt, yeah,
long, like you could come, like the
Yeah.
troll's hair.
yeah. Except for it's curly. Look,
No, I'm sure there's cultures that's just what they are. That's what they do.
Look, Europeans are not big shavers. They got pit hair, and more power to them. It's fashion. Fashion dictates what we do to our hair, apparently. But yeah, I don't know. I think there's a lot to. I don't want to ever have a pelt. I could not have a pelt. But when you
she
have
has wispies. Y'all, she just has comb overs going on down there.
No, I wax it. So, but just I've had clients there. The husbands have told me that part of the reason they broke up is he just could not be with the pelt. I know.
Think about it, y'all.
And I said, did you ever tell her that? Did you ever tell? Well, he tried to shave her one time and like for fun and kink it up a little bit, and
Ew.
it didn't go well. So
Well, think about it, Camille. If you've got a pelt, that is an undergoing
There's gotta be
operation.
shavers.
Oh, you got the hedge cleaners.
I feel
Right?
bad for that person. But anyway,
You know, it's one thing, ladies. It's one thing to have a pelt, and maybe because of your nationality, like you just grow a lot of hair. But
men do too.
Yes.
Men
Do you
do
remember
too.
I
The
told you about
forest.
the gold lame dude on The
Oh, yes.
Bachelorette with his swirlies?
Yeah.
But that is something that like really grosses me out is hair like on a woman that's in a bathing suit that's growing outside of her leg and underneath her butt area that we can see.
Okay, I've never thought about that. I'm thinking the front only. Thanks for giving me that visual. Ooh, okay.
I was down at Lake Powell, and there was a girl that was trying to get up on like a board.
Water ski, yeah. A boogie board.
No, she was trying to. Anyway, she swung her leg over, and I was like, "Jesus, have mercy!" It was a pelt waterfall leaving the seams of her bathing suit.
God. Was it your?
Camille, how do you not know that it's there?
She don't care.
She was a young girl.
She don't care.
I don't think she knows.
I don't think anybody's told her.
That's why my point. And
Where's her mama? We have to have mama tell her.
I wasn't going to do that, but I was praying my boys didn't see it.
Oh gosh. Oh hey. That's,
But you know what? I mean,
but they gotta
but
get
I've
educated.
seen adult women like that. I have seen adult women like that. I'm like, God, Mama June, do you just not care? You know? I'm thinking if you're, here's the deal,
honey,
y'all.
they
When
just
you're
don't.
naked, unless you're showering blonde, if you're washing properly, you know what's going on.
Meaning, you got hair down
here's
there.
me. Now, when I go to shave my leg, I put it up on the side of the.
Yeah, we all do, and then we stand there and
That
lean over.
means when you go
can
down
look
this
down,
way to
you can
do the
s-
back of your thigh,
You can
you
see
should
it.
know what's happening in the galaxy down there. You should, don't you think?
I think you can see it.
You should know when you dry off. If you need to round brush that shit,
Well,
it's time to call Joanna.
you use a round brush on your pubes. Do you really? Oh my God, I learn more about you every
I
time.
got a perm.
Oh
got
my
my summer
God.
do.
In the 70s, look, scaping was not even in.
No,
that was just
I
normal.
think you just shoved and tucked.
I think you braided.
You know what? I remember going to a pageant one
Oh my
time.
God.
I was like probably in junior high,
Yeah.
and this chick had on a white one piece, right?
Uh-huh.
And
See-through.
y'all, it was like a road map
Ew.
of pubes, not showing,
But you could see
but
the
you
bumps.
could see the pelt. It was
You
like
could see the bumps,
oh,
yeah.
You should have brushed it. You should have round brushed it before you put your suit on. Did I tell you my most embarrassing story one time?
No. With what? No.
When I was in high school, I was a lifeguard at a place kind of like Seven Peaks.
Yeah.
You know the story.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, y'all don't know it. But
Oh,
here we
let's
go.
tell it. Here we go.
So I was not a lifeguard necessarily. I was a ride op. Now there's a difference because a ride op just stands there and goes exit.
Yeah.
But I had on my red one-piece suit. You know, that was kind of the Baywatch thing. Only we were like super ugly.
With no fake beard check on them. You weren't
Not a
ugly.
French cut, more like grandma cut, right?
Uh-huh.
So the park hadn't opened yet, and the hottest lead. I mean, they're not even in swimsuit. They carry around like a notepad and clipboard, and you know, they're just in golf shirts, and they're really, really
Tan and good looking guys. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they stopped and talked to me. And I'm in high school, and I was like, oh my god.
Uh-huh.
They left, and I looked down. One had weaseled its way right out the front of my crotch. And it was standing at attention by itself with just like a left turn at the end. And you know, the first thing you do is you brush it like you're going to get it off like it's a fly. No, y'all, it's still connected to your earlobe. And I was like, oh my hell, they saw. I know
Probably
they
dark
saw.
in color.
So pageant time, you know, people are like, what's your most embarrassing moment? I can't tell you.
No, you cannot talk about
cannot
that.
talk about that on TV. But now that we have millions of viewers
Yeah.
with Shock Talking,
We know your most embarrassing sneak away pube.
God, it was the one that got away.
You got a rogue pube going on.
From that moment on, I have never let those babies get long enough to ever poke through any form of fabric.
Trim that shit. Okay, that's gross, stretching.
I'm sorry. You probably know more about me now than you needed.
Yeah, I can imagine
ever
with the shit we've talked about on this
needed.
show.
I know. Well, you and your
We
drag-
have shared everything. I'm a
drag
drag
toe.
toe. I have drag toe. Shut up. It's not.
If y'all go see Jurassic Park and you see their little like gimped up,
Oh,
just picture that
whatever.
thing dragon. That's Camille.
No, it just was a bruised
Oh my gosh,
toe.
here we go.
It was
When you
just,
wear your ski boots too tight, it causes a
It
nerve that goes
pinched. up
to your ass and your sciatic, and that
did.
makes you drag your toe on the concrete. That's why it's called drag toe.
no. No, it's just that pinched big toe. And it
defend it.
bruised.
Well.
You quit making fun of me, bitch. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's talk about something for real.
We're 21 minutes into this. We haven't even got to the part we're going to talk about.
This isn't going to be worth watching.
I know, because you know what
I
happens
started
is
swearing from the beginning.
we title this thing and people think they're going to hear about it, and they got 21 minutes of bullshit that they're like, I don't know what
Got to
they're
get through the
talking about.
pubic hair. Got to get through our pelts.
I got it. I don't have a pelt. I never have. I had one
Yeah, me
getaway,
neither.
one stray. We did a podcast not too long ago
Yeah.
about mamas should run prisons, and Camille and I are very passionate about that. We actually think
Well,
if more politicians would just listen to our philosophy, I'd just spit on myself. Shit would get done.
Shit would get done.
And people would pay attention, maybe.
Yep. Well, because we were watching the news, and this gentleman, this murderer from France prison, escaped via helicopter. Pretty
Look at
extraordinary.
his picture, y'all. Does he look like a murderer?
Well,
He looks like Enrique
You can-
Iglesias.
he kind of has that seductive little,
Mm-hmm.
he's got this look of he's charismatic. Most sociopaths are very charismatic, and they're attractive, and they're charming, and so he's looking, again, he's suave and debonair. His models and role models would be De Niro, Al
Yeah,
Pacino. He watches
like,
Scarface, and he
watches all that shit, which makes me think.
and that's motivating him to be that kind of guy.
So Prison
But
Break.
life's a movie to him.
Yeah.
For real, I mean, you think about the mentality of that. He watches it over and over and over and over to become the character.
Yeah.
And this is
the
the second
game,
breakout.
yeah.
He broke out by having dynamite. He blew a hole in the wall and escaped one time, got caught, put back in, and then this one. Now we had a helicopter hijacked. This pilot's held a gun to his head. He lands in the prison yard.
Which
and
to me,
this
I'm
guy
just like, what? Isn't
goes
that
and jumps
kinda
on.
911.
Well, I mean, I'm not sure how the hell he got out, but I think he escaped whatever as far as he could, landed in the yard. He gets on the helicopter, he's gone, and then they torch the helicopter. So that's torched, that's gone. So who knows where he is. Now, here's the thing about someone like this, okay? This is a narcissist, and he will have to brag about it. He's going to have to, he might do plastic surgery to change his looks or something, but he'll go live the high life somewhere.
Yeah, he'll shoot himself because he'll talk about it, right?
Right. He'll hang himself that way. Just like El Chapo.
Yeah.
You know, he
Oh,
wanted-
listen to this. Did y'all know Camille was telling me
Yeah,
he swam in shit to get out.
He was. They dug under the prison to get him out, and then they hung lights and stuff, and they had a motorcycle to ride all the way out to the desert. It is sophisticated. These criminals, and he's got plenty of money.
Right.
He was trying to bribe. I'm sure he's bribed a lot of officials.
Sure,
He's
sure.
worth billions of dollars. The number one drug dealer on the planet. He's in Utah. Or I mean, not Utah. He's in United States custody now.
Yeah.
So he's not going to get away. But yeah, these narcissists, they just they don't have a conscience. They don't feel guilt. They don't feel
No.
shame. They don't have any remorse.
And the fact that this guy is
He's in a movie. He thinks he's in a movie here.
Yeah.
And
But-
even the prison guards were like, they were impressed with the elaborate escape.
But again, this leads me to there should be no communication when you're in prison.
No.
So somehow El
He's escaped
Chapo,
before.
somehow this guy, they're communicating with the outside world.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, and probably has code. If I'm ever locked
Exactly.
up, we're talking about a scene of a movie, and you're going to do that scene.
Because everything had to be so orchestrated for him to even be outside at a yard
At
to
that
be
moment.
picked up. Why the hell wasn't the copter shot at?
Right? Well, and they probably didn't know it was going to land there, but again, it's pretty quick, but who knows? This is in France, by the way. Not the United States, it's
Hey,
France.
have you ever watched on Netflix? I know.
favorite.
I know. I
You
get
love
on these
Netflix.
like prison
Yes.
tangents. But
What's it called again?
well, there's Locked Up is a series, but
watch
this
it.
was Russia's worst prisons.
Oh.
And it's called like Black Dolphin or something
Something
like that.
dark like that, yeah.
Yeah. They handcuff the prisoners and they make them walk down. Like they can't stand upright and see where they're going, so they have to walk
Looking
like
down.
at a 90-degree angle down like that. There's 2 degrees of their cell.
Oh.
So it's almost like the mud room and then your cell.
So you go in and there's a door.
Yeah.
You enter this area and then they lock you.
Yeah, and then you go in another one and they lock that too.
So does the first one now put your hands through the door and we undo your cuffs, and then you go into the room? I wonder if that's because it's got to be a purpose.
Well, I mean, it's just extra protection. But these
I think
people,
that's brilliant.
like the statistics of breakouts is almost 0
Because of how they treat them.
Yeah, and fuck, it's Russia. You know how freaking cold it is. And they get them up at like 4:30, and they have to go outside and exercise.
I don't like that. That's too
Yeah,
early.
and they have there's almost no interaction with humans. I mean, they really
They're animals.
is prison.
But I don't mind that.
You know what?
Some
I
of
don't
these-
mind it either.
Look, and I don't know if this is accurate or not, but when I heard Trump, I read a tweet, okay? I think it was accurate. Well, I'm going to say this, but Trump actually tweeted that he wants to have the death penalty imposed on child traffickers, on predators, on
Yes.
pedophiles.
Yes.
I was like,
Why not?
I'm enrolled.
You
Tell me
know,
about that.
that is the #1 crime that's happening in
It's
the
the
United
fastest
States,
growing crime.
Right?
Every 40 seconds, a child is stolen and put in trafficking. Every 40 seconds, y'all,
seconds.
in the United States. Okay, this isn't just worldwide. This is the United States. This is the fastest
These are
growing
not
crime.
kids being shipped out. This is happening
Here.
right
Right here.
Right here. And I don't know what the stats are for pedophiles, molesting, raping, and so forth, children. But those numbers are growing,
Oh, yeah.
growing. And Camille and I have a philosophy, hey, if there was no rules applied in prison to child abductors, child molesters, anything that has to do with children and raping, just let them loose and
Let 'em in
turn your
general
eye and we'll
population.
see what happens. Perhaps maybe some people, because you go on your computer and you try to find registered sex offenders in your neighborhood, and it is alarming the amount of
Oh, God,
pop-ups.
right.
But those are the only ones that have been convicted
That's right, that we know about.
that we know about.
That are registered. I did
'Cause they
this
have to.
actually. Yeah, I did this on Draper. Okay, there was like 20 something. I did it in right over the point of the mountain here in Utah, and in Lehi, like 2,600 in a little area subdivision.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh, I'm surprised. But I think Utah County has a lot more predators than Salt Lake County.
It's interesting because it'll ask you a mile radius what you're looking for.
Yeah, how many?
And you know what? I mean, I was pulling up on mine and I was like, oh my hell, I know where that street is.
It's scary.
It is.
Yeah.
And again, these are people that have been convicted. These are not
caught.
the people that are, maybe your kid's going over and playing video games, and that person isn't,
I always checked. I always check, and I still do, honestly.
I know, but nowadays, gosh, with the numbers and what's
You don't
happening
know.
with kids, you just don't know.
You don't know.
You don't know. So this dude is out. He's still out.
Oh yeah, they haven't found him yet. Faid, I think his last name's Faid. French. It's a French prison, but he quite the escape, elaborate escape. We're gonna have to watch this slippery fucker. I mean,
When the helicopter was burned, was it in France?
oh yeah, they landed somewhere, and then they probably had a vehicle, but they torched that helicopter.
Of course, they
yeah.
had that all, or should I too. I was watching this Australian prison, and there was a guy. I think he was American, and he had escaped so many times.
Oh,
And he was arrested in Australia for having the largest amount of drug smuggling into the country.
really?
Yeah, but he said, gosh, I've broken out of a lot of prisons all over the world. He was probably 60, something like that. He goes, I really like it here. This is the nicest place. They treat you nicely.
Where was he?
Australia.
Oh,
They treat you nicely. You have great food. And I'm thinking,
no, he's gonna stay.
oh, man. Yeah.
I
Doesn't
didn't-
want to be extradited out.
Oh,
Wants to stay
of
there.
course, he'd rather stay there with nice people.
Because he had been in some of the California prisons. And he's like, man, those are hard. Oh, poor thing. They're
Right,
hard.
that's just terrible.
Yeah.
Let me look up something. This
But
guy's date of
a
birth.
serial criminal, and I think you're right. It's the game of it.
It is the thrill. Yeah.
It's the thrill of getting away with it. And honestly, you don't have to be a convicted criminal to have those characteristics.
No, you don't.
I mean, how many times have we dated somebody that it's like
All right.
they're a complete asshole, but I think they enjoy getting the rise out of people.
Oh yeah, it's the rush. I had a client of mine, and he was tortured by this. In high school, his dad was making money as a builder. He's the only son, and they were popular, and he loved his life. His dad actually got caught robbing banks with his buddies, and went to federal prison. And this client of mine was it ruined his life. And I think I met him when he was 28. And for 10 years, he was just kind of incognito. He didn't want people to know him. He kind of went off the radar. He said, why did he do that, man? He was really bothered by it. And he said, we had plenty of money. He was doing really well financially. And I said, no.
Yeah.
I said,
It's not the money.
Joe, let me tell you something. It's not for the money, honey. It was for the rush. And when I said that, he literally, you could hear his brain just pop, like he cognited, oh my gosh, it was for the adrenaline.
Wow.
Now, he's an adrenaline junkie. The guy he's a skier, he jumps out of helicopters to ski backcountry. I mean, he's an adrenaline junkie.
Yeah, but he toes a different.
Totally. Well, and yeah, his release was that. But when he realized that, I said, maybe you should take a call from jail. His dad was going to get out soon. And I said, I think maybe you can understand why your dad did what he did. This was more of a bonding thing with his buddies, and it was an adrenaline jump. It was cool. So it really did make sense to him.
It's like all the Ocean's movies.
Right.
you
Totally.
know?
Totally.
Very brilliant, smart people.
Yeah.
That got away with it.
I'm trying to see this guy's birthday. I can barely see it.
Oh, she's gonna be all psychic.
Well, I think he's a 40-year-old guy. So
I don't think he's French. Those names.
Faid Redoine, Redoine.
I don't know.
Interesting, but that's not very attractive in that picture.
You know what cracks me up is, oh hell, that other one was talking about a Photoshop.
Talk about a
that was
good-looking
an Instagram
Photoshop.
picture.
Right.
People's mugshots, you know.
Oh my gosh, I had a grin.
Why?
You know my favorite? Jodi Arias.
I was just thinking of her.
Yep, Jodi Arias.
The bitch that killed Travis.
Travis Alexander, yeah.
Yeah, that freak on
Crazy.
smiles
And she was
for
like,
her.
oh no, she was coy. She was just loving the attention. She grossed me out. And she's still sitting I'm not sure if she got life without parole, but is she in isolation, do you know?
That I do not know. I do know when she was awaiting trial, she won their American Idol
They're singing
contest.
for a turkey dinner.
She sang "Oh Holy Night."
Yeah.
Oh, sweet baby Jesus is
my
not
God.
happy with that choice of songs.
Isn't that
Jodi Arias.
interesting?
I'm surprised we haven't been killed
Yeah.
because we talk about people that could come after us.
Stop saying that shit.
We
Don't
do.
give them ideas. My hell,
well, Camille
girl.
just gets dick pics. Would you get off of that?
I
That's
can't-
very rude, y'all.
Oh,
I'm
shut-
sorry.
Shut up.
Camille's all
I'm trying to find his birthday.
She's trying to be all like,
I'm just thinking, if he's a Libra, he probably is going to do okay for a year or so.
what?
He won't. I don't think he's going to caught. Not soon.
Y'all, I wish you could see this picture. He is fugly.
Well, he's not
Compared to
really
that
pretty.
other one, man, he looks like your Joe criminal there.
But I think he might have got a little plan for a minute. I think he'll be ratted out.
Okay, but what has he done to conjure up such a staff that has helped him? What kind of power does he have?
Look, narcissistic people, what they do is they leverage your guilt. So narcissists have people around them that are loyal. They're loyal dogs, and they'll do anything for you.
Yeah.
So it really is this pity and this, I can't do this anymore, I can't take this anymore, you got to save me. So people that have this healing mentality or this savior mentality, they get used.
I do think, according
'Cause they're
to-
putting their life
according
on the
to my
line to get this
research
guy out
on
of there.
Netflix.
Your research on Netflix.
Yes. Yeah. With
Watching
Locked
your-
Up.
yeah, your Locked Up series,
You know what
yeah.
though? But there's always one or two or whatever ringleaders of certain areas of prison, and they do. They
Like a
prey.
gang.
They do.
Yeah.
They prey on the ones that they
Need a
don't have
daddy.
an they're scared to death, or they have no family, or they've never had a sense of belonging to
Right.
anything but something bad, which is the irony of gangs in that. You show our loyalty by killing somebody, and then you're accepted. But if you ever try to get out, we're going to kill you.
Well, you're compromised. You compromise yourself. We know you compromise yourself, and we'll tell. So it's an ownership, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
But they're so desperate to belong, they will do that. Biker gangs do this kind of stuff. Some relationships do this kind of thing. But no, you're right. It's a gang mentality. So I'm sure he's got a gang that's
Yeah.
going to bust him out.
Yeah. Yeah. I had
And-
to.
Well, they risk their lives to do it.
Right.
They get caught. They're in prison for life too.
Well, you think about here's another show you can watch.
What is it?
American Gangsters.
I like that.
Yeah, and a lot of it talks about the mobsters of today
Uh-huh.
and yesterday and so forth. That's a fascinating world.
Well-
not that I'm condoning what they
No,
do, but I'm just
no.
saying the loyalty and
The
the
leadership.
history, and I mean it's like it's
Well, who doesn't like Casino, Goodfellas? I mean, they make this stuff look Hollywood.
they do
the
they
mobsters, the
glamorize
Italian.
it. Yeah,
But I'll tell you what. I mean, it's thug, it's thievery. But I'll tell you what
it's
they
white
instill.
collar.
Totally. Oh,
Yeah.
It's a license to kill. But when you get paid, and they pay you very well to be a murderer, apparently. But what I think what it is there's also this violent society. It is a violent society, and you know you're next if you don't comply. So it's still ruled by this
It's ruled by
threat.
fear. Yeah, and
It's ruled by fear, yeah.
And how are the women treated in an organization like that?
I think they're ruled by fear too. They're not going to be able to get out. They've got to keep their mouth shut.
You could never divorce somebody, right?
No. Oh no.
Right?
Well, and even they have religion. They've got this. It's fascinating because they've got these religious sects, and then they've got these. They're dealing and stealing and skimming, from businesses
Then
in
they
town.
go to church.
And then they go to church. It's like, and they got their little families, and they got their bar mitzvahs, and but they all kind of just clean together.
Yeah, they do.
They run in crowds. They run in a herd.
And you look at the whole structure of the organization, and we're talking about adults that are so needy of approval that they'll do anything to get higher up. I think there's one out now that talks about John Gotti and John Gotti's son, who says, even though he was a mob father, he never was my father.
No,
You know,
it's everyone else's father. Yeah.
I was in New York maybe a year or two after Miss USA, and I was with my manager, and we were eating down at Little Italy in New York, right? And that was when John Gotti was arrested. So who was the mob king at the time? Was it his son?
Yeah, I think it was.
Anyway,
I'm not sure.
So my manager's very Italian. We're eating in this Italian restaurant, and the whole time now I'm this young kid, right?
Yeah.
And we go in, and he's talking about there's a certain tables that you sit in, and there's ones that you don't, and we
'Cause
can't
those are
sit with our
mob.
back to the door, and we can't sit here in case somebody comes. He's telling me all this like whispering. I'm like, what?
This is your agent?
Yeah. Yeah, so if you sit by the front and there's a shooting in the front, you're probably going to get hit. But you can't sit by the back because there could be a backdoor shooting too. I'm like, can I just have it to go?
I just want a spaghetti.
Yeah. So anyway, we're sitting there and we're eating, and he gets flustered and he gets nervous. And I'm like, what the hell? And he goes, do not look up.
Oh my
And
God.
of course, I'm like, what? What?
Uh-huh.
The Gotti clan had just come in.
Oh my gosh.
And they sat right next to us.
Kind of scary.
And well, I didn't know any. If now I would just be like, oh shit. But at the time, I didn't really know. I mean, I didn't really know. Prohibition, maybe, you know, that kind of stuff. But he was like, you will take your last bite and we're out of here.
Jeez.
Because
That's
his
scary.
dad was in prison, and you didn't. I mean, the whole organization, while it seems to be running so, you don't know who's pissed at who. And he was like, something could go down.
And
We're
you're caught in
outta
the
here.
crossfire. Yeah.
I'm just there, y'all. I'm just eating.
No, it's a
skating.
dangerous lifestyle. It's dangerous. Again, it looks good in Hollywood, but it's not.
I listened to this. Oh heck, what's the chick's name from Housewives of New Jersey? Whatever, Teresa. She and her husband both went to prison. I'm not saying they're in the mob. I don't know, but there was
but
that
she's got
show.
some- yeah.
There was that show.
Her
Mob
family.
Wives or
Yeah,
something.
she was part of that, yeah.
And some of those wives, their husbands were in prison.
Yeah.
You know, and the wives seemed to be like bitches to the other wives. Like there was a pecking order with those gals
Oh, there
too.
is. There has to be. But that's kind
that's a
of
full-time
that's the
job.
nature of the beast. Yeah.
Whoa.
So I couldn't do it.
Oh my gosh, I like being on a beach with a margarita. Just leave me alone. I don't need anything else.
Chips, queso, margarita.
I'd be like, hey, cutie pie, can you bring me 12 more?
Yeah.
No, but I.
Cabana boy.
It's a full on business.
No, it's a lifestyle.
It
You
is.
are, and that's why getting out. Whitey
can't,
Bulger. I mean,
right?
he got out, but Whitey Bulger. I mean, he was living incognito, but he's
Right.
he's gone
And
now.
I always wonder, when they have these people that they're interviewing, and maybe they have their face blurred, and maybe they have their voice
altered,
distorted.
yeah.
However, if you've got a mob person
know who
watching
you
that show,
are.
they know the stories you're telling. My gosh.
They know who you are. Yeah.
They come find your ass.
Yeah, I just wouldn't do it.
You were not getting a Slurpee at 7-Eleven at midnight. Don't be doing that. Wow. I know. It's fascinating.
time.
Well, it doesn't matter. Camille.
Well, it kind of matters. We want to do 2 shoots today.
Okay. Oh, you got date night.
I got that now. 5:30, girl.
Okay. Anyway,
My
so
gadget.
again, the moral of the story is
Don't join gangs.
don't join
become-
gangs.
Don't.
Do
Break out of
not
prison.
eat in Little Italy when there's a disruption going on. And we need to run the prisons. We have some ideas.
Women-
and we
Yeah.
know some solutions that can help us out. President Trump, I know you're watching this, and I think we need a meeting. Kim Kardashian had a meeting with you. I
Yeah.
think Shock Talking needs a meeting. If you remember, Donald Trump, you and I met during Miss USA
Oh,
several times, and that is nothing
so we have
inappropriate.
a prior relationship?
I know he knows me. I know him. Nothing inappropriate. Trust you me. But
He was a full gentleman with you.
he would know who I was. So I'm just encouraging you, Mr. Trump,
Maybe you should make a phone call.
make a phone call.
Let's make a phone call.
Yeah.
All right.
Shock Talking, really, once again, y'all, we came to you with just pure
Cafeteria.
knowledge.
Yeah.
Just, it just pours out of us.
Cha-chas
And we
pour out of us.
Those come out. Watch Camille laugh.
Yeah, watch the balls.
Y'all, well, look at that. She's not even squishing them.
I have to.
I have to there. Now,
got some cleavage.
I can.
Color
But watch what
cleavage going
happens
on.
when I sit like Camille. Nothing. I'm
Yeah,
sorry
but
to
they hang.
disappoint.
They hang nicely. They're not ugly. There's nothing wrong with your cha-chas,
All right,
girl.
we'll leave it. We'll leave it at that.
can
We
like-
appreciate it being there. I mean, this really was kind of a roundabout campfire session right here.
Right. About
Yeah.
cha-chas and all of it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you should like, subscribe, share, and if you want to say nice cha-chas, you can.
Okay, watch Camille as she tries to push her gadget.
Oh,
Bye,
good.
y'all.
Bye.